we'll see something. Great, thank you. Next on our agenda is the budget review schedule. We are going to receive budgets to this commission, I believe, the next meeting. Anna, do we deliver budgets next meeting? Board of Selectmen, or this is the next meeting? It's the 4th of February, so you'll receive the budgets then. And then we'll need to schedule some special meetings and also incorporate some review within our selectmen meeting on the 18th. The budget is due to the Board of Finance on March 11th. So we'll have 2 Board of Selectmen meetings on the 18th of February and March 4th before we submit our final budget to the Board of Finance. Suggestions on dates? We can wait till the next time, but we really do need to, or do we need to do that tonight, Darlene?
Just before school vacations and stuff.
Do have that, right. I would anticipate you folks might have a lot of questions, me being a new first selectman, and we have a new member on our board. There might be a lot of inquiries. So do we want to set aside some days now that we know we're going to be, bringing in departments?
Well, we know we have a meeting on the 4th. Do we want to schedule a special meeting for the following Wednesday, the 11th?
I have Board of
Board of
Finance that
Finance, that's
night.
right. I'm sorry.
I
So-
think one of the things that we've done in the past is to start the Board of Selectmen meeting early, and then we know we already have that evening reserved for the regular meeting.
We don't have February school vacation anymore. You have a 4-day weekend or
We
something
only have the
like that?
16th and 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
Monday,
have,
Tuesday.
we have Board of Selectmen on the 18th. So we can
Right.
start the process that evening. We can start early, we can run late, we can be prepared. We can have coffee brewing, and we can schedule
And
some.
if we don't have a lengthy agenda,
Yeah.
we could set it up so that perhaps we could start at 6.
Start
Break.
at 6 on the 18th,
And-
Roseanne, or?
yes.
On the
4th?
18th.
On the
And
18th.
break
18th.
for the regular board meeting, and then if it wasn't too lengthy,
Right.
we could have it set up that we could continue at the conclusion.
Let's lock in our schedule on the 4th, our next meeting when you receive the budgets, and we'll at least lock in what we're going to do for schedule then. But let's plan on the 18th being a long meeting. We'll probably need one maybe on the 25th, and then we'll have a regular Board of Selectmen meeting on the 4th. That will be 3 lengthy meetings. We should be able to wrap up the budget.
Why don't we just say the 25th too?
Yeah.
Just pencil in the 25th as
plan
being the
on-
date.
18th, 25th, and 4th should get it done.
So
Okay.
meet at 6 on all those days?
Yeah.
Do you want later on the 25th?
Let's start out at 6 o'clock on the 18th, and then we'll determine the other schedules. Depending
depends
on
on
the
who we-
departments, depending on how the budget comes in.
And who we might want
Yeah.
to have come
Review.
forward.
Yeah.
for that.
Good point, Rob.
Okay?
So
So-
on the 4th, we should decide
Who we want to
which
see?
which
and-
boards we
Right.
want to see, so that they would be notified of who we wanted
To
to
come
come.
in 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
which will be plenty of notification. Okay. Thank you for that. Old business, I have none. Ex officio reports.
I have no report.
Okay. You should just go down the line. I'll start with this side this time.
Oh, so you
Go
have no
ahead.
report?
Go ahead.
Very briefly, I attended the zoning meeting on January 8th. There was an application for outdoor dining for the new restaurant on Main Street in the old health food store that was approved. Zoning had an executive session, and that was about it. I attended the Board of Education meeting on Monday, January 12th, at which the new superintendent was appointed, Jeffrey Newton. The employment agreement between the Board of Ed and Superintendent Lombardo was amended to allow for an effective April 1st date, which is the starting date of the new superintendent, and the initial budget was presented at that meeting, and that's about it.
I had a Park and Rec meeting a couple weeks ago, Thursday, and they did, major thing was setting up fees for McCooks for the summer, and they'll be posting those within the next couple of weeks, so people will have a chance to see them. A little bit of an increase for out-of-town one-day passes and season passes.
I attended several meetings, but I'm only going to report on one tonight, and I'll catch you up on the others at our next meeting. This was a referral from the zoning commission to the planning commission by a request for a revision for agricultural uses, and the request was submitted by the owner of Whitegate Farm, requesting the ability to hold weddings, receptions, have a conference center, all of which are not currently allowable under the existing zoning regs. So this is the second time in recent years that the owner has come forward to propose an amendment to the zoning regs. The previous time denied for several reasons, which the second application tried to address. The Planning Commission had a rather extensive discussion on this with many questions that they felt were not addressed, and concern that one can't pass a regulation that applies to only one business. And so whatever was decided upon would have to be allowable for all similar farms within the town. So they table this for further discussion and further input. Unfortunately, there wasn't anyone there representing the applicant to address their concerns, which might be able to be addressed, but the zoning commission's looking for a recommendation from planning. So, excuse me, yes, that's right. Zoning looking for a recommendation from planning, which is not going to be ready prior to the next zoning meeting. So this is something that's been tossed around for 2 or 3 years as the potential for this. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Mr. Salerno, I know that you've been active out there.
I actually went to my first liaison assignments. I went to Harbor Management Shellfish Commission yesterday. There was some talk about the exclusionary zone outside of Camp Niantic. It appears that the Camp Niantic will allow some shellfishing there and possibly even some kayaks. I guess the major concern there seemed to be putting moorings in the exclusionary zone outside of Camp Niantic. There was some talk about the rain gauge. Apparently, the shellfish, when we get an inch of rain within 24 hours, and there was some discussion of what that exactly meant. They have to shut the state will shut the shellfish beds down. We're required to have provide the data with the rain gauge, and they were using a rain gauge that was owned by the USGS. Recently, the USGS told the town that we would have to start paying $3,500 a year, split it with Waterford to use that. So the East Lyme Emergency Management has a rain gauge that they put up, and Chris Taylor was there to talk about it, and they think that's going to be a feasible solution, so we don't have to use USGS. They scheduled a public hearing for a lease proposal to farm oysters out in Niantic Bay, with the goal of first year of raising about 200,000 market-sized oysters. That's going to be a public hearing coming up next month. There was a couple other small applications talking about new and upgraded decks in the Black Point area, see if they were consistent with harbor management. That's been delayed to February. I went to the inland wetlands. They approved a application for construction of an access driveway on Walnut Hill Road. There was some discussion with the cease and desist order from the solar farm with the town attorney. There also was an application coming for a preliminary review, a new office building on 11 Industrial Park Road for a 26,000 square foot building. It's within some of the inland wetland zones. If you don't know where that is, that's near Bob's. That's one of our last light industrial empty lots. They're scheduling that. They passed their budget, which will be coming before us. In their budget, there was some discussion about bringing the wetlands official up from 8 hours to 20 hours. The commission felt adamant that the wetland official did not have enough time to do his job, and was adamant that his position be brought from 8 hours to 20 hours, so we'll be seeing that soon. They re-elected their board, no change on their board. and they didn't have a sidewalk in January.
Thank you, Mr. Salerno. Very detailed first report.
Thanks.
Wonderful. I sat here 2 weeks ago and took an oath and said, one of my promises was to go to all the commissions and boards in town and introduce myself and thank individuals for their service. And I've spent a good couple of weeks doing just that, and it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. And in the last 2 weeks, and it's been very. I learned a lot, because many of these commissions are a little looser than others as far as their agenda goes. We were able to sit down and have some conversations about what they're doing. I really appreciate that. I visited Park and Rec, Youth Services, Inland Wetlands, Planning, Zoning, Historic Properties, Harbor Management, Finance. I also stopped in with Care and Share, which is just a great group of folks that, as we know, and they were kind of basking in the glory of post-holiday and all that they accomplished, and all as a town that we accomplished in helping those that needed to lean on Care and Share this year. On regular scheduled stuff, there was a potluck for preservationist dinner last Friday or 2 Fridays ago. A couple of the selectmen were there. I know Mrs. Cheeseman, Mrs. Hardy was there, and it was a potluck, and it was all the historic properties people and conservationists came in and had it at a church basement, and it was a nice gathering. It was nice to see those people who care and have so much passion all come together. It was nice. East Lyme won a big deal. East Lyme at the Engineering Excellence Awards 2 Mondays ago. East Lyme I think there were 5 entries, 5 nominations. East Lyme won the grand award for our engineering and conception of the interconnection the water connection between New London and East Lyme. This now goes to a national review and contest, if you will. I don't think there's prize money, but
They'll
it's
pay for the regional water interconnect.
Oh, would that be something? We get a free water. No, but it's a big. It was a wonderful idea that was engineered wonderfully. Came in under budget, and water right now is being banked in New London, coming from East Lyme. It's going to be coming back to us in the summer months, and this might be the first time that this board. First time in 30 years that this select board will not have to entertain, mandate water restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal. That's a big move for this town. It also allows us to have economic development in this town, which we might not have otherwise had. I went to the Southeastern Connecticut Water Authority, SCWA, the COG meeting this morning, the Seat Bus Board of Directors as well, and I also went to the Electric Boat Annual Breakfast, and they are nothing but positive about the future. They're hiring people. They have all sorts of submarines on order and being designed, and there's engineers, and if they let somebody go in the shipyard because they don't need welding, right now, then they hire 2 engineers. There's a growth thing going on over there. So that is some encouragement for from one of our biggest employers in our region. I am grateful, honored, and humbled to be the first selectman. Thank you again, as I thanked you 2 weeks ago for this opportunity. I'll continue to make this a full-time job and get out there and get it done.
Just one question.
Yes.
Is Kent still our seat bus?
No.
Is he? Did he leave?
No,
that?
he is on the board of directors. I believe the chairman of the Ledgelight Health District.
Oh, okay.
The CBUS now in the board of directors
now because it went to
are
the
all
state, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
State
so-
owns the buses,
So-
but
so-
the board of directors of seat
Yeah,
are
I
the
just didn't know.
CEOs of the towns.
Okay. That's how we changed that.
Or
part.
there
Yeah.
can be an appointment as well. There were a few appointed people there instead of CEOs
Right.
from a couple towns
Okay.
today. And I'm learning more about all these organizations. I'm just getting my feet wet, but certainly participating and listening as much as I can and taking notes.
Okay. Very good.
Any comments from the public? There is none. Any comments from my selectmen here?
Motion to
the
adjourn.
Selectmen.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone. Thank you for watching.